Today we're going to be doing a pick a card or pick a pile or pick a stone, and we're going to be seeing what the path is for us going forward. So the message will be predictive. In the sense, it'll also show what there is to look out for. Think of it as an early present for you to attain on your pathway. And there's a little bit of an extra spiciness to this reading, which I will introduce throughout the reading. The first stone that we're looking at here is a stone that comes from a archaeological dig. The stone is from the Roman period, and its origin is really unknown. I have no idea what stone this is, but it's got some energy to it. It's got some little pictures in there. When I touch it, it feels chalky. And when I taste it, it's salty, which of course I did. So I'm telling you, I'm not going to go lick the stone now. So in this is the mystery stone from Spain, which comes from the Roman digs there. And let's have a look at the stone. Rough under my touch, very much like a chalkiness. And this deposits could be salt as well, so not really sure. Anyway, that's pile number 1 for you, stone 1. Stone 2, favorite stone, the Howlite. Definitely reminds me of sharpness here, of a ancient tool that was used to sort of like carve things out. Also looks a bit like looks a little bit like a spaceship actually. And it also has a little bit of some sort of other deposits in it that's making it got that little bit of a shininess to it. Also rough in texture, smoother than the other one, not salty, chalky. That's stone number 2, pile 2. And we have the Aragonite or Argonite, however it's pronounced. Always reminds me of the crystals in Superman's cave. Each one of these could have a little code in them, very much specifically set in a particular way so that it can serve as a particular purpose. Maybe perhaps you could use it to store spiritual information in there, hence all of these facets that you could program to work for you. So yeah, rather heavy. It's quite a biggish sort of stone, pretty old. And that's stone 3 for you, or pile 3. I will leave this with you and see you in the readings. For those of you who have picked stone 1 or pile number 1, the essence of the pathway holds itself keyed into the past actions, perhaps in this lifetime, perhaps in a previous lifetime. We will find out what message there is that holds for you, what you may use to gain your path going forward. Think of this as an early gift that will help you set you in a position that you wish to choose from. Remember, you've also got free will, and so even though anything that is predictive as it is presented is also always leaving you with the option of actually having the choice of the ability to make the free will your own. Welcome to the Arcana Veil. Let's have a look. For those of you who have picked stone 1, I will draw a card from my mystery mixtape deck. Just kidding. It's a mixed deck of oracle cards all rolled into one. I like to call it the mixed deck, mixtape. We have oppositional. What is it about oppositional? And it'll just be one of these. And the energy that I'm picking up on for those that have picked pile 1, the sense of energy holds itself in the way that you present yourself at all times. There is a sense of knowing that you are definitely going to go towards a pathway that will perhaps be a very rare one, much like the stone. And I would say that you hold many mysteries in your life path for you that you've already accomplished. Perhaps you may also be an older person, yet age and all of that is really just also energetic. So I'd like to see this as those that are wise to choose a pathway that may be oppositional to what the mundane might wish to have. So a rebel in disguise, I would say. We're going to look at what the tarot has in store, and I will draw 5 from these, and then so we will go forward. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the hybrid alchemy tarot deck. It is a very alchemical process here in terms of the pathway that you'll be taking. We're starting off with the prima materia right underneath the oppositional card, which suggests calcination as the rebirth of something that has once been there in your path, burning it all down to the ground, and you perhaps have already done that. I'm seeing here that as much as you have followed certain rules and regulations, perhaps in circumstances and situationships, which I'm seeing quite strongly here, you have also stood out by just being true to yourself, or you have come to that realization that you've always been a quiet rebellious person, or a quiet rebel at heart. Within the nature of this frequency, the pathway that takes you through this will be one in which you will set certain financial parameters in place. The Knight of Coins here very much holding out the coin as an offering to suggest that you are going to be on this path now, setting those things in place. So within the coming of the time, you are going to go into perhaps creating your new business. If I have to go into this a little bit deeper, I'm seeing that some of you are actually getting some sort of financial aid. It could be through a loan or through support. Perhaps you started up a new business. I'm hearing the word Kickstarter as well. This is definitely for someone specific, that comes through for you eventually. And within that, you're able to set the pathway in place to be able to 6 of Wands, recognition and victory, which will be yours if you keep going into the direction of what it is that you seek to experience within your life path. Within the nature of this is at heart the recognition of your victory. You will have to recognize this within yourself first, but we will see how this comes about. We're also seeing that in the way that the path is shaped for you, that it's set in a particular way, that you will have to set certain things in place that will maybe be questioned. However, I've got the sense that you don't seem to be too concerned about needing to jump through hoops anymore. I'd say you've pretty much, like this card, you're there for a point and place and time, and each one has his own space within the nature of the realm in which you exist within. We're seeing here that there's definitely ready, swift, aim, fire, 8 of Wands, perhaps a little bit of competition against what you're presenting. But in that fact, there's also those that are going to be standing with you in this. So this may make you feel as if at first you'll be in your own space, in your own capacity. Perhaps you enjoy silent spaces. I do think that you're someone who likes to live in the cave. And perhaps in that way you feel safe there because you've had this experience before. But what you need to understand is just in the mere way that you're existing within the realm in which its dynamics are impacting you, you are already setting a tone that actually challenges the frequencies around you. So you may be someone that actually goes or impacts a space where no one seems to realize until you come into the scenery of the space that you really change the energy within. It's like you alter the vibrations that is held or that is there from the beginning. So you challenge the status quo in that way. We don't always have to do radical things to prove that we've altered certain things. I mean, just by being present within your own personal space, radiating in your own unique mystery is your prophecy that will take you forward in your pathway. Let's look and see what the energy shows in terms of what you may find on this pathway. And we will look at that which is in the underworld or the lower world or in the shadows. And when I say shadows, it does not mean that it's necessarily yours. These could be people that you encounter. Their shadows are perhaps, I wanted to say shallow, perhaps challenge you because you are living within your authentic space. So as above and so below. We will look at it now. You must not see the underworld or the lower world as something that is evil. It is important to see it as a space in which you mine out of it precious stones, minerals, and things that actually give you strength, that you unearth out of a frequency that really adds to your frequency rather than to take it away from you. So that essentially is your whole experience. We're seeing here the Page of Wands underneath the Prima Materia. Definitely a questioning. There's definitely a focus on needing to set an idea in place. Excuse me, you're being challenged. But at the same time, as you're being challenged, Five of Cups here underneath the Knight of Coins, you've had a lot of kickback from a lot of people, perhaps even close to your family, close in family. I'm seeing that relationships have actually broken up because of that frequency in itself, but I'm also seeing that you've been involved in the academia as well, so you're familiar with the sort of nature in which, let's say, the way that people behave. And within this nature, it really is the more there's presenting itself in your space, the more you thrive on changing that energy, changing that summit or that ultimate frequency into a frequency that is to be understood as setting new rules in place. I'm seeing that some of you that are in the medical fraternity, perhaps you may have encountered the same experience where your peers are actually not really in support of you, but really challenging everything you say and do. Also keep in mind that it is because they are operating within a thought field in which the norm or the overall umbrella behavior is to challenge everything that is presented, so that it's because it's part of the nature of that energy. I'm seeing that even though that thought form or that umbrella of energy, everyone's consented to it, that you have not. And so in that way, I'm seeing that you truly are stepping out into a space where you are literally not taking any more of that sort of projection. You do it from within you. That is what alters the frequency. Let's have a look here. Recognition, Six of Wands. We have Judgment, very powerfully placed underneath the Six of Wands here, definitely giving you the fuel and the fire to present the information that comes along for you. You present the information with the right frequency over the heart area, which is the Six of Wands, knowing that you will stand strong with that particular thing that you present. Going forward, it really is what you want to change within the outer reality of your experience has to start from within. That is ultimately the only space in which you have the most control over, which impacts energetically that which is around you. So if you have judgment over yourself, then that would also be something that maybe you have to clear up within yourselves. 9 of Swords here under the 7 of Wands, profoundly placing itself here as the mental capacity to set the thing in place, to analyze it with the knowing that you have tasted it to its full degree. Perhaps you're testing everything now and you're choosing that which serves you, as opposed to having to have been the servant for everybody else or for everything else. You've definitely altered your state of choices here with regards to needing to set that thing in place. Set the record straight is what I'm hearing. Set that record straight. There is the 10 of Wands underneath the 8 of Wands, very prominently implying that the need to establish that thing that you believe in, that new company that you're going to start, that belief that you're going to follow, is not a belief anymore. It's now a way of life. Is something that you are challenging to its degrees of its analysis. You're also being shown that you come into a place where you alter that, like I said, you alter that frequency, the consensus around you, and that in itself suggesting that it's a way of being. So I feel as if I'm talking to someone who already knows all of these things. You're seeking something from this reading. You're seeking what the purpose is of the pathway, and in this way we'll find out with the other deck, which is what I believe the energy of the reality itself. And we will look and see what the reality in itself, in its etheric form, can teach us in how to understand how we impact the reality, or how the pathway will find us. So how will the pathway find us through this frequency? We have 2 cards that have come out here. We have Airless Air 7, and we have Intentions of Earth. Mind and body. Earth, as above, so below. Number 2. In this regard, right over the prima materia is suggesting that you're able to focus on it within your mental experience, your thoughts, to write things down, to write down the intention of the pathway that you're going to be on for yourself. It's a little bit of homework, obviously, for you, because you seem to require this particular information. And the pathway will meet itself by questioning your position in the pathway itself. In other words, I seek to have so-and-so pathway. Where will I be on this path? And the energy suggests you will be ongoingly creating the pathway for yourself. So this is not a fixed path. It is a mutable path, one that is coming from the mind and one that is emulated through the feet, through your body. You're walking that pathway. What is the purpose of this pathway? It says Daughter of Air here. And it suggests to be able to be in control of that which is of the mind, of the mental thoughts, the things that may have been challenging at some point. The story here of Pegasus that was actually approached in a kinder way, as opposed to grabbing Pegasus so that they could ride the horse out. The painting suggesting that the way that this figurine is approaching the horse is with gentleness, and to approach your mental thoughts, the way you think, your uniqueness, with gentleness, with kindness, with respect. And that is the new pathway. This is why the path is coming up, because you're seeking a break. I can hear, I just need a break. I just need something to happen for me so that I can actually get out of this space, whatever that space is. Who or what will be on this pathway with me, with you, with me, with you? We have the collaboration of air. A lot of people from higher orders, from higher spaces, places. Collaboration of air, not necessarily always physical people, but also people that do appear to be in the legal nature, or people that are aware of the laws. You may even have some angelic presence or beings or forces that will support you in this process. It is enriching as a number 4 here, which is definitely setting the place in the right pathway between the two parts. In other words, the center point of the pathway is the middle point between 4 points. And that is the nature of your path and who you will meet on there. It says you'll have a lot of people collaborating with you on this, so you'll be fine. This is already actually happening. You've already started communicating with them. So how will this path be with regard to the rewards that you will find? It says the search. Your rewards will come with the searching of the inner light within. In other words, if you're seeking rewards to come to you in tangible ways, remember how it starts. From the mind to the feet. As above, so below. So what I think is what I experience and how I move through this life path. If I seek physical rewards, then I must be able to know that I am worthy of a reward in the first place. Because that is how you create reality, is by creating the unity between that which is above and that which is below, so that you create the wholeness, and in that way you have the pathway that leads you towards the light that you seek, which has always been within. What's the lesson of this path? The lesson of the path relates to stepping away from tragedy. Things that have been there, that maybe you've been with someone for a long time and they haven't really been, they made a better business partner than they actually made a loving partner or a romantic partner. Is there more on this for the collective? We're seeing here solitude of fire, number 3, that the games have ended, that you've basically stopped playing the game with that person or that thing for being part of the games that they play, because that's perhaps part of the reason you've felt a little bit lost in your own seeking of your own light. Perhaps you've given too much of your light to someone and they've taken the light without even giving any consensus or concern for where you are in the pathway. Because, pile number 1, they'll just regenerate their own light again. I mean, they're just so good at what they're doing. I mean, really, why I'm not going to be bothered with, really, let me just project all my stuff on them because they're good, they're strong, they can handle it, you can handle it, those sorts. You've definitely stepped out of that position. You're not doing that anymore. You've laid down those rules. And you've perceived the nature of the reality for what it is. It's about energy. It's about the energy that you put into the position of your existence within your mind. In other words, what you think and what you write down about what you think, and then to read it and then to establish it, to put it into action. And that really is the pathway for you, taking you forward into the next part of your journey. I'm seeing that there's definitely a lot of adjustment period. There's a lot of adjustment periods that are happening as we speak, but I am seeing that in overall the outcome for you, that you're definitely going to find that nature of your true self. by leading us to the outcome here, which is the Benthams explosive fire. And it is over the heart area. Heart on fire. You are definitely going to set a lot of things ablaze, because this will energize you in such a way that you know that you're ultimately going to be free. This is your sovereign right to be free, your free will to be freely and fully your own self-being, self-made, self-actualized, and in this way allows you to take the next off-ramp, so to speak, because remember, it's your life path, it's your free will, and you're just re-energizing that back into a place again. You want to enter the world, the next part of the world, through this pathway that essentially gives you the strength and the knowing that you have it with you, that you're not abandoned, that you have people with you, even if you're moving away from those clowns that took so much from you. I will leave this with you. I hope this has given you some guidance and some affirmations and some commentary on the pathway ahead for you. Remember, you've got free will. You ultimately decide how you wish to experience your pathway within your mind, body, soul, and spirit. I will leave this with you until next time. Thank you. Pile number 2, if you've picked this beautiful Howlite stone, we're going to be having to look to see the energy for you, the gift that is ahead of time for you, that you may have the option of exploring now as you go through and going forward into the pathway. Also keep in mind that you are able to use your free will and that these readings will be predictive, so you will be shown certain things that you may need to decide if it will work for you by establishing that idea, that free will within its actions. In other words, you have the right to decide how this reading impacts you in what way, shape, or form. And welcome to the Arcana Veil. For pile number 2, I will use my mixed deck or mixed tape. And the card that came out is of Oracle, the Oracle cards, which I throw all together in one pot, one deck. And we have the symbiosis here, which very much shows something quite unique here. There's a little bird that sits on a rhino's head. Okay, so we're having to see the way that nature operates. You could be someone in nature, loving nature. You might be an outdoor person. Within this nature of reality, I'm seeing that you're also wondering about where you're going. What is it that you're seeking to explore in your pathway? There may also be people around you that might actually behave like wild animals. And those are archetype, of course, in the way that it's presenting itself. People may even see you as someone that's completely not from this place, that you are truly very much a wild child at heart who loves nature. There's a symbiosis taking place, a nature in which there is a connection between two opposite things that no one may have thought that it could ever have happened, and that here it is, it's presenting itself to you. So you are perhaps someone who actually believes in these small little, wonderful little miraculous events and things and how they're unfolding for you. So we're going to look and see for you this pathway ahead. We have the 9 of Cups here, and this is the hybrid deck that has an alchemical slant to it, relating to disappointment and fulfillment. In other words, symbiotic relationship between things that may not have happened the way you wanted it to, but still you're in a fulfilling space of setting new things in place. 9 of Cups, walking away from all of those things that you don't really want anymore. I can see that. 3 of Coins here. 2 of Coins here. The choice to need to make. Bopping and weaving. King of Wands with the eagle, the three of whole forces, pathway taking you through something very serious motion of choice that you're going towards. You could be exploring new meditations or something, or I'm hearing binaural beats, some liberation and separation, which obviously seems to help you to go out of this picture, to moving away from things that don't serve anymore. They come with the 9 of Cups and they present to you all these things, all these glitters, and you're feeling like, don't think I can handle all of these things anymore. I just want things to be simple. I just want things to be just the way I want it to be, perfect and precise and beautiful harmony within the self, knowing that you can actually make any free choice. 2 choices here, left or right, or both. You're weighing up what works, what does not. You could be someone that's already established. You have a very established sense of energy within you. It feels like you're actually in retirement or going towards retirement perhaps. And this is for someone, not for all. I'm also seeing here that at a heart here, the King of Wands, you're definitely someone who's created a lot of things to fulfill, to help you fulfill what it is that you've always wanted to achieve. And you've had great successes with those as well. So why are you here? What do you want to know about the future? What do you want to know about 2026? Well, it says here that in the part of your nature, there's an aspect that relates to wanting to explore things on a much deeper, heartfelt nature. And in order to do that, you're needing to try and find out how to actually really free yourself from those things that don't belong, that you feel you don't belong to anymore. Things that are essentially liberating for you. It may mean that you may actually decide to walk away from certain people completely, like a lot. Let's have a look and see what is within below or in the underworld here, and from there we'll see. We have the Knight of Wands underneath the 8 of Cups here. I said 9 earlier. Maybe there's something about 9 that'll come out for you. We have the Knight of Wands underneath the 8 of Cups here, suggesting that you're definitely unearthing things that are about your personal self. I'm seeing that there's definitely a pushing and a pulling of feelings. Could be with people. You can't really get your bearings straight with certain people. Some people, I'm actually seeing someone in a social environment where there's like always arguing, always setting things in place that you don't really, and you find yourself thinking, I don't really feel like listening to this man's BS anymore. 8 of Swords, 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords. You know better. In other words, you know better to decide. Do you even want to entertain that fool for what he's presenting to you? I'm hearing fool's journey, fool's errand. He's disappointed you. I'm saying he as in masculine because the energy is masculine doesn't mean actually. 4 of Cups right under the King of Wands. Weighing up a lot of promises that were made, a lot of empty promises perhaps, things that didn't really pan out. I'm hearing this person just keeps talking so much. He talks a good game. I hear that. He talked a good game. So this could be for someone who's actually recovering from a relationship issue. I'm hearing flawed relationship. You're blaming yourself for making the mistake of that nature. We have the 7 of Swords here under the 3 of whole forces, suggesting that there's a way you wish that you could actually get back what was stolen from you. There was a lot of thieving of energy from you, taking away from you your wholeness, your heart energy. You feel as if you've been as if you've been stripped from your energy. The question is, this is going forward into a pathway. Are you taking this frequency with you? Do you seek to establish the same status quo, or is it going to actually change for you? Let's have a look and see here. We have the Death card under the liberation and separation. So it's someone that's out of the picture or going to be out of the picture. I'd say the thief that's been taking your energy is leaving the scenery quite abruptly, from what I can see here. Doesn't necessarily have to be physical passing over, but nonetheless, the energy is what it is. I mean, when you pass away, you don't die. You don't really die. You just transition into another form that's perhaps less pestering for some. I'm just talking about that in such a way. But this person has definitely been a root cause of a lot of problems that you've had for quite some time, has made you doubt yourself, has made you have to fight very hard to determine, to explain who you are, explain what it is that you want. I'm hearing explained to pieces, a lot of things. It's even made you doubt your own gifts, your own abilities here, when you're actually the King of Wands here, and you were made to feel like you're the Four of Cups. Like, what? How did this happen? But it only happens because you entered into the trust with this particular person for so long, and you thought it could work, symbiosis. It was an unlikely team. It may have worked for some time, but according to the frequencies, it seems to show like that energy seems to run its course. It ends off if you're out of that position where you're not part of it anymore. Let's have a look and see on a deeper esoteric, spiritual, metaphysic journey, that which is in the ethers, the most magical substance surrounding the consciousness that is within your tangible touch. In your breath of air, it is what your spirit is made up of. Let's see what the energy shows for us and how to bridge this. Tangibility of air. You know of what I speak. 8 of air. The fact that you are aware of this information, this wisdom is not new to you. The story is not new to you. This could be for someone specific. If this story does not relate to you, then there are other parts in the story that will relate in one way or another, and to remember that you have free will to decide how you go through that pathway. Let's have a look and see why you are on this path. We have the Daughter of Water. You've come with the intention of changing your pathway within yourself. You seek a particular salvation or a healing to take place. Water to the soul is like nourishment. You seek that. What is the purpose of the path? He spelled out. We have the allegory of air, and we have the volcan's belly fire, which suggesting that both came out. You have the air and the fire here. You may have a very focused connection with regards to Gemini or air elements and fire elements in your life path. You need some quickening energy to energize you. You want that. I can see you want that. But it requires for you to start a relationship with the self. And the relationship that you have with yourself is one that you need to take note of, is the one and only true part that will lead you to where you want to go. It doesn't mean that you have to go live in a bush or in a sanctuary. It means that you have to start building the relationship with the self first, so that that which comes outside of you towards you, that it adds to your life as opposed to taking away from your life. Vulcan's belly here showing right over the cards there that it's burning away those threads that have been attaching to you for so long. You're essentially re-quickening yourself back into place again. You're feeling it in your heart, and you desire that feeling of freedom. who or what is going to be with you on this pathway. 2 people. Number 1, the truth, Veritas, fire, wouldn't want it any other way, and the mother of air, which is related to perhaps maybe your real mother, or maybe you are a mother, or maybe you are feeling connected to a spirit or person has passed away who is maternal towards you. But nonetheless, the most important thing that comes through to you is the path of truth. Veritas means truth in Latin. And it is the truth that you have always remembered that your mother may have told you about back in the day. But now you've come to that point where you realize, it doesn't matter, I'm not going to go back and forth and back and forth. I want my journey to be pure for me. I want it to be full of truth and guidance, and I don't want to be alone on this pathway. And so it comes through here that you won't be alone. You'll have a relationship with truth, as well as a maternal protection around you. What is the rewards or the lessons for this pathway? We have the Father of Metal here. Perhaps you can gain some financial stability. Metal is money. How do you find that? By being in peace with yourself. 2 cards coming out of here. We have the Gusto of Air, by focusing on that which is in the mental, the mind, how you think. Air is above in the heavens, in your thoughts. And the Paladin is to become strong within yourself. The Hero, to be in connection with your true strength. And if you have a relationship with Veritas, you have already got the power to be that person, to lead that group or to lead yourself out of that space. You will have more protection. He's surrounded by armor. If you start a new business, you will have the protection and the truth to establish a new way of earning financial income, which it does seem to be like you will get some, even if you're someone who is expecting financial support from a person who is meant to pay child support. I see that it is coming through for you. That is something very specific for someone. Those will be the rewards. Remember, if you set up a reward system that is external, it'll be hard to find it, because you have to be worthy of receiving that reward, which means you'll have to establish the reason you are worthy for a reward within yourself. And it looks like you've actually started to do that, because it says that you're familiar with this pathway. You know how it works. You've done it before. Perhaps you've done it in a previous lifetime. And how is the outcome for you on this pathway? We have deep dive water, and it's a whale. Number 7. Very important number here, because it means you're going deeper within your deeper consciousness, your soul. The soul is feminine, watery. There's a very powerful card here on the side suggesting that your soul is going to be fed food, because it comes through the spirit, which is truth. Veritas. The essence of truth is fire, and therefore the essence of spirit is fire, which is quenched Vulcan's belly through the air, the mind, to nourish the soul, so that you may have peace, because you go towards the path with your free will intact to decide whether you can have it as a peaceful pathway or one that is going to require you to fight it. You decide. This is a pathway that is open to you. You have the free will to choose within how this pathway guides you. You will have support. You may have angelic support. You have the truth by your side. And remember, you're always loved. And I will leave this with you. I hope that this has given you some guidance and some inspirations and some affirmations to the path ahead. Until next time. Those of you who have picked pile number 3, stone number 3, the Aragonite, the stone that reminds me of the ability to program it for its many facets, Superman's cave with all those crystals there. There's a sense of energy that I am picking up on, that there's definitely a desire for something bigger, greater, better, something more to happen for you. And the only way these things happen is they initiate themselves from within. They always do. So let's have a look and see what my mixed deck of cards, my mixtape of oracle cards will show us for this stone. We have book. There you go. Within the energy of the nature of wisdom that you seek, wisdom shall be revealed within this reading, and it'll be the beginning of the start of a new journey for you. This may be something that you wish to encounter that will be truly one of remembrance. Let's have a look and see for you what the path ahead looks like. Remember, you have the free will to decide how the path impacts you. This reading is essentially predictive, which means the questions have already come through the etheric fields in order to be answered within this reading and this channel. And within that, you have the free will to choose, or the right of the ability to make the choice of free will to accept or to change or to better even the pathway ahead for you. Your life is in your hands, much like this book is perhaps the book of life for you. Let's have a look, and welcome to Arcana Veil. We have the Ace of Cups here, a newness, fulfillment. So the new path is definitely something brand new for you. We have the Seven of Coins here. And how you may find it will be taking some time for you to get there and to get rid of a few things. Eight of Swords. Could certain things be of service to you, or could they just be something that you're needing to focus on, to get rid of, to clear out? We have dissolve, dissolution. In other words, breaking down that which doesn't impact or feature in your life anymore. And we have strength. Within the nature of the reading, at this moment, you really are praying for something that should happen brand new for you. Because of where you are right now, you're seeking mercy for something that can come to you in a way that will give you the assistance and the guidance to really remove you out of that situation. And yet you are familiar with the Eight of Swords here, that it essentially is about just simply removing the blindfold, but perhaps to stop judging yourself from the things that you've perhaps let yourself believe in. It really is that simple, because it suggests here that you're coming into a newness of a fulfillment that is part of your life path, and one that has taken a long time to build. There's definitely a dissolution, which leads to this card, of things that haven't really worked out for you the way that you have wanted it. Perhaps you've been seeking information that has not reached you in that depths of your soul, that hasn't moved you in a way. You needed convincing, a lot of things to convince you. You needed to know if you're actually worthy of that. The reading suggests that you are, because you are here and you are asking those questions. With dissolution or dissolve, that thing changes everything that has once been in your path, that has been the hindrance in your life, that it simply starts to melt away because your focus goes away from it. And that is how it happens. Strength showing that she looks away from that which has been sorrowful for her. She moves within her own thoughts. He or she moves within the thoughts. This is the feminine principle, though, so your soul is definitely showing you need to look at things that work. Don't look at things that don't look like it's working. I'm tired of pie in the sky. That's very, very specific, because it means perhaps you've been conned with things before. Let's have a look in the below, or the underworld, or the shadows, in which we can actually mine up out of that which can help us heal and clarify the upper heavens here. Because remember, as above is so below, and as below so is above, and all of this is within you. Let's have a look. I'm seeing the Four of Swords here, definitely fighting over something that has taken some time and it's really caused a lot of energy to establish. Sorry, Five of Swords, yes, I said that. There's mental anguish, a lot of fighting, going back and forth, causing you a lot of mental stress over things here. You've heard it before. I hear you've heard it before. The Emperor. The Emperor is right underneath the Seven of Coins here. There's an expectation of having to make something happen. You really wish to change something up. You're here for inspiration. You remind me a little bit of a bee that's around a flower, looking for something. There is the Four of Swords here, definitely tired. You're like really overtired. When last have you taken a mental break? Can you afford to take a mental break? I know that sometimes it's not easy. You can take mental breaks in shorter increments of time. Okay? I'm just suggesting that because that is what helps. That is the most simplest part. You can maybe have a 5-minute nap here and there. Also feels like some of you have been working night shift or long shifts, because I feel like suddenly very tired. We have the Seven of Wands here under the dissolution, dissolve, breaking down that which doesn't work anymore. I mean, the fire is needed to break down the old debris of pain. And the only way to do that is to start to bring in new thought forms, new thoughts, new ideas, not that forms new ideas. So new thoughts that form new ideas of experiences is how you will alter the current frequency that you're in. So let's, for example, let's say you are working shifts. You're tired as hell. How do you change that? Well, Hierophant, you know that. You know how to do that. I'm not going to tell you how to do that, but I'm going to say to you, I'm going to advise that the way to change that is to change how you see the night shifts. Is the night shift a stone around your neck, or is it just another way of finding another way into the reality that's a different side to things? Different people, once you change how you see things within your mind here, you're able to draw out of that what it is that you seek to experience within your pathway going forward. It is within in how you change what it is that you experience outward. Let's have a look and see what the energy shows for us in the ethers, in that which is tangible around us, the essence of the fire of the soul. Let's have a look and see. So this pathway that we're looking at is one out of truth. You know that it is. It's the truth that you're tired. We know that. You know that. What are you going to do about it? You're going to negotiate about it. You're going to say, dude, can we swap out? Can we do something different? Can we collaborate? Can we negotiate on certain terms? Work-wise, can we clear up things that have been in the dust? Update your CV, I'm hearing. I'm seeing the devil here. All of these swords are leading to overthinking things which are really just chaos in itself. It's over your heart area, so you need to alter that energy so that it doesn't take control of you. But the devil has also the devil exists for a reason. It exists so that you can understand the illusions which you may have been creating in your path. Perhaps your focus is too much outward on certain things, expecting certain proofs and changes to happen. And yet it starts here by saying you've actually got the truth. You know the truth. So what's happened? How did this happen? That you have become literally within a position where you've doubted every moment of your existence. Going forward. This is not for everyone, okay? The Son of Fire and the illusion. All of that which is perhaps causing the pain is how you observe the pain. If your mind says to you, oh God, I can't stand this, and you say it every day, you're literally not going to stand it. You are creating it in your heart space. Another example is, I'm tired of seeing this X, Y, and Z. And you say it every day, you will literally be tired. And you may have even a little bit of problems in your eyesight. Or you may always have some weird exhaustion around you. Because you keep saying that you are tired. And the frequency is suggesting that you need to actually change your way you look at things. Remember, it starts off with the book. So you need to change your book of thinking in order for you to be able to break the illusion. That is what it only is. There's the illusion here. Who's on this path with you going forward? We have transcendence of malleability and earth, which means you will have a lot of angelic energy, forces and things around you that'll keep on pushing you to going forward. Universe is really pushing its energy forward for you, hoping you'll actually hitch a ride so that you don't have to do this too much by yourself. You're not going to be alone, that's for sure. What is the lesson in here for pile number 3? Sovereign man, to learn how to understand your own creation. Well, creation 101 is about what is within the mind and what is believed about what is in the mind through the body, and that becomes your reality. So if your lesson is to learn how to become a sovereign man, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter, you're needing to understand that you have a very powerful mind, because look at what you've created within your own thoughts, within how you've set yourself up. So it's saying, book, change the script of how you're thinking about yourself. Even if you have to write it down, give yourself a new script, because this is where you're going towards. This is what's supposed to happen for you. This is your nature, your true nature. Ace of Cups, new journey, start already. Outcome for you. Materiality. You're seeing the world for what it is. Once you learn to understand how to create, how creation actually happens, you understand what reality you're dealing with. Materiality is about that which is in the material realm. And if you want to change how the material realm impacts you, you're probably going to become very much focused on looking at things inwardly, because you don't want the outside world to feel what you're creating. You want to be selective in how you do that. You're also being reminded that the materiality in the way that it exists is just how the world is, as it is, because it is held together by thought forms, by beliefs. So it is never solid, it is just tangible. It is tangible and malleable. In other words, it changes every moment in however many people look at it in very many different ways. So if you're feeling like the world is a horrible place, so it will be towards you. So if you look at the world, it's a wonderful place, and you've been hurt by it, but you still think the same way, your focus will be on those that are closest to you, that have made a wonderful experience with you. And if you feel like you want to run away because you hate everyone, then everyone may hate you. So watch how you think. Don't program that stone with certain things that don't serve you anymore. Actually go and do some digging and change how you observe yourself. I felt I needed to bring that up for someone very specific. So if you chose pile number 3 and you don't really truly fully resonate with this, then the essence is still the same in terms of how you are addressing creativity. Creation 101. it's within the reading. I will leave this with you. I hope this has given you some guidance and some affirmations. Until next time.